You'd probably never think I'd be the kind of guy to do something like this. And honestly, I didn't think so either. I'm not some criminal mastermind. I'm not on drugs. I've never even been in a real fight. I'm just a guy, a little lazy, a little bored, a little too comfortable lying to himself. My name's Jake. I'm 21. I live with my dad in a crumbling apartment building that smells like burnt toast and old laundry. 5th floor, no elevator. Same view out the window every day. Parking lot, dumpsters, gray sky. My mom died when I was 8. Heart attack, out of nowhere. One minute she was cooking dinner, the next, gone. She left behind a bunch of old recipe books, a chipped mug I still use, and a silence that never really left the apartment. Dad's kind, too kind maybe, quiet, trusting. He never yelled when I flunked out of community college, never pushed when I said I'd figure it out. He just believed in me, like I was gonna turn into someone, someday. And I guess that made it easier to lie. Easier to sit in my room, scrolling through TikToks and food delivery apps, pretending I was building something, hustling, whatever that means. The truth? I didn't have a plan. I didn't even have dreams, just this heavy, numb feeling in my chest, like I was alive but not really living. And then one day, I saw a post, a fundraiser, sick little girl, huge eyes, oxygen tube in her nose, and something clicked, but not in the way you're hoping. It was late, like 2 a.m. late. I was scrolling through my feed, half asleep, half starving, when I saw it. This post. A fundraiser for a little girl with leukemia. Her name was Emily, 3 years old. Big photo at the top. Her in a hospital bed, tiny fingers clutching a stuffed rabbit. The caption said something like, "Please help us raise money for Emily's chemo. Every dollar counts." And the comments, hundreds of them. People crying, praying, donating. "Just sent $50. Stay strong, sweet girl." Shared. "Hope she gets better soon. Breaks my heart." Donated what I could. It was powerful. And honestly, a little hypnotizing. Not the sadness, the response, the attention, the money. And somewhere in the back of my head, this little voice whispered, "Damn, that worked fast." I didn't feel evil. I didn't feel much of anything. It was like watching an ad go viral, a case study, a playbook. And then the voice again, a little louder this time. "What if you tried something like that?" I didn't think of it as a scam. I thought of it as marketing, just a well-written post, a good story. And I had time, I had a phone, and I knew exactly what kind of pictures made people care. I created a new account that same night, used a random name, Sarah Mitchell, found a photo of a sick kid on an old blog, curly blonde hair, big brown eyes, breathing tube. Then I opened notes and started typing. "Hi, my name is Sarah. My daughter Chloe has a rare bone disease. She's 4 years old and fighting for her life. We need help covering her treatment costs. Even $1 helps. Please share. God bless you." I didn't even reread it. Just copy-pasted it under the photo, threw in some crying emojis and hit post. Felt nothing. Not guilt, not nerves, just a weird kind of buzz. Like I was doing a school project. A twisted version of show and tell. And then, the first donation came in. $5, then 10, then 20. I watched the total tick up like it was a game. In an hour, I had made almost $150. By morning, over 300. All from strangers. All from one made-up story. All for a little girl who didn't even exist. I ordered a large pizza, bought some vape pods, upgraded my phone case. And when Dad asked where I got the money, "Freelance," I said. "Marketing gigs, social media stuff." He smiled. "Proud of you, son." I said thanks. And I meant it. Not because I was proud, but because he was. After that first one, I couldn't stop. I told myself it was just a one-time thing. But the money, it was too easy. Too fast, too clean, no sweat, no boss, no alarms. Just my phone, my fingers, and a fake story. So I made another account. Different name, different photo. This time, it was a little boy with a bandage over his eye. "Daniel needs surgery to save his sight. Please help." Same formula, same tears in the comments. Same wave of sympathy, same cash flow. I started getting good at it. Better photos, more convincing copy. I even added fake updates. "Daniel had a rough night, but your donations keep us going." And people ate it up. The dopamine hit from every sent or just donated comment? It was like a drug. And I didn't even have to leave my room. I'd sit there with my vape, legs up, ordering takeout with scam money, telling myself I was just gaming the system. No one gets hurt, right? Dad asked how work was going. I told him growing might turn into something real. He believed me, told me I had a gift, said you always were smart, Jake. You just needed direction. I laughed. Inside, something shifted, but I buried it fast. There were more stories to write. It was a Sunday. Dad had just finished doing laundry. Still folds clothes like Mom used to. He sat down next to me on the couch holding his phone. Look at this, he said. It was a post. Real this time. A little boy named Aiden, 7 years old, cancer. Real story, real fundraiser. Dad scrolled through the pictures, paused on one where the boy had no hair and was smiling with a balloon animal. I thought maybe we could send a little something, he said. Doesn't have to be much, just, because we can. I felt my throat tighten. I don't know why. It wasn't like he knew, but something about the way he looked at that screen, like it was sacred, made me want to disappear. I forced a shrug. Most of these are scams, Dad. People fake this stuff all the time. He looked surprised, hurt almost. Not everything's a scam, Jake. He held the phone for a second longer, then put it down on the table. Didn't say anything else, just stared out the window. And I sat there silent, pretending I was checking my texts. But all I could see in my head was the fake account I'd made the night before. And for the first time, it didn't feel clever. It felt cold. After that night, I should have stopped. I didn't. I doubled down. 3 fundraisers running at once now. Different names, different stories. I had a system, a whole damn content calendar. Monday, Chloe needs surgery. Wednesday, Aiden's mom posts an emotional update. Friday, new case, baby Mia with a rare disorder. I used AI tools to write the captions. Stole photos from medical blogs, memorial sites, old Facebook accounts. Even copied real donation updates and tweaked the names. It felt weirdly professional, like I was running a marketing agency. Only my product was pain, and my brand was fake hope. And people kept falling for it, every day. Moms, grandmas, teenagers reposting with crying emojis. One girl even messaged Sarah and said, I lost my sister last year, praying for your little one. You're so strong. I stared at the message for a long time, then deleted it. Didn't reply, didn't cry, just muted the thread and went back to counting cash. Dad still asked about work sometimes. Still doing marketing? Yeah, I'd say. Digital stuff, running campaigns. He nodded, proud. Told me he brags about me to the neighbors. And all I could think was, if only you knew who I really was. But I didn't stop, because stopping meant facing it. And I wasn't ready for that yet. It was a regular post, same format. Cute little girl, age 6, smiling in a hospital gown. The caption said she needed help after a complicated spinal surgery. The donations were rolling in like usual. Everything seemed normal. Until I saw the comment. Just one line. That's my daughter, who the hell are you? My stomach dropped. I clicked the profile. Real woman, real photos. Her name matched the watermark on the original image, the one I had lazily cropped out. She had followers, posts dating back years. Her bio, mom to a miracle, advocate for rare spinal disorders. I froze. Not panic, not yet. It was more like that sudden cold rush before a crash. My fingers tingled. My mind blanked. I deleted the post, then the account, then every message and trace connected to it. I scrubbed my inbox, logged out, switched SIM cards, and still I couldn't breathe right. For the first time, it didn't feel like a game. For the first time, I realized I wasn't just stealing money. I was stealing people's stories, their grief, their faces. I didn't sleep that night. Every time my phone buzzed, I jumped. Every time Dad coughed from the other room, I thought, they found me. They didn't. Not yet. But something had cracked inside me, and it wasn't going away. A few days later, it happened. I was in the kitchen microwaving leftover noodles when Dad walked in. He had his phone in his hand, staring at it, confused. Jake, he said quietly, why is your name showing up on this? I looked over. My heart stopped. It was a screenshot, one of my old posts. Not from my phone, not from my account, but somehow it had been shared in a local Facebook group. The caption said, this photo is stolen. This fundraiser is fake. Please report. The photo was of the girl, the same one whose mom had called me out. Dad squinted at it. This is the same girl I showed you a few weeks ago, he said. I remember her name. She passed away last year. I tried to think, fast. Someone must have used my name, I said. People do that all the time. He didn't answer. Didn't ask anything else. Just looked at me. That quiet stare. Not angry. Not surprised. Just tired. He set the phone on the table and walked out of the kitchen. And I stood there with a plastic fork in my hand, watching steam rise from a bowl of noodles. I suddenly couldn't eat. Dad ended up in the hospital 2 nights later. Heart attack! Mild, they said, stress-induced. I sat alone in the waiting room, hands shaking, phone in my pocket, chest hollow. The nurse told me he'd be okay. But something in me knew. This wasn't just about his heart. It was about me. All of it. The lies, the weight of them. The silence I forced between us. When I got home, the apartment felt different. Quieter. Like even the air was disappointed in me. I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, just staring. Eyes red, skin pale. I looked like someone I wouldn't want to talk to. Bloated from takeout. Exhausted from pretending. I opened one of the fake accounts again. Read a post I'd written just days earlier. Something like, "Little Mia is fighting for her life. Her smile lights up every room. Please help us keep her smiling." And as I read it, I felt sick. Physically. I dropped my phone. Ran to the toilet. Threw up everything. Food, shame, guilt, all of it. I curled up on the bathroom floor after. Forehead against the cold tile. And for the first time since I started this whole thing, I whispered, "What have I become?" And I didn't have an answer. The hospital let me visit him the next evening. He looked small in that bed. Wires taped to his chest, IV in his arm, eyes half shut. He smiled when he saw me. Weak but real. And that broke me more than if he'd yelled. More than if he'd said nothing. I sat there for a while, silent. Just watching the heart monitor beep. Same rhythm, same guilt pulsing in me. That night I wrote him a letter. Old school. Pen and paper. No screens, no lies. It started simple. "Dad, I need to tell you something." And then I told him everything. The fake fundraisers. The money. The photos I stole. The people I lied to. The look on his face when he showed me that real kid's story. The comment that exposed me. The fear, the disgust, the mirror. I ended it with, "I don't expect forgiveness, but I needed you to know. Because I still want to be your son." I folded it. Put it in an envelope. Next morning I left it on the nightstand in his hospital room. Next to his glasses and a cup of water. I walked out without saying goodbye. That same day I opened every fake account I had. And deleted them. Then I logged into a real fundraiser someone had sent me once. And transferred the rest of my scam money. All of it. No receipt. No comment. Just a quiet, broken thank you under my breath. I got a job delivering food the next week. Boring, repetitive, bags of greasy takeout. People who didn't say thank you. Long walks, sore legs, rain, wind, spilled drinks in my backpack. And still, it felt better than anything I'd done in the past year. I wasn't proud, not yet. But I wasn't lying either. The first night I made $16. Came home soaked, shoes squishing. Dad was still in the hospital. The apartment was dark and cold. I sat at the table, ate cold fries from a customer who never showed. And for the first time in months, I slept. No dreams, no dread. A few days later, I saw a real donation post online. Another kid, real story. I hesitated, then clicked the link. I only had $20 in my account. Gave $2. Tiny. Meaningless, maybe. But I stared at the confirmation screen like it was a lifeline. Tears welled up in my eyes. Because this time, it was real. Dad came home on a Wednesday. The hospital discharged him with a handful of meds and a quiet warning. "Take it easy. Watch your stress." I offered to call a cab, but he insisted on the bus. Said he missed the noise. When we walked into the apartment, he didn't say much. Just took off his shoes, hung his coat, and sat at the kitchen table like he always used to. I hovered near the doorway, awkward. Wanted to say 100 things. Didn't know how to say even one. Then he got up, opened the fridge, pulled out a container of soup he must have made before the hospital, warmed it on the stove. When it was hot, he poured 2 bowls, set one in front of me. Still didn't speak. I sat down, picked up the spoon, tried to say something, anything, but nothing came out, so I ate. And the warmth of that soup, the quiet, the kindness, the way he didn't look at me like I was broken, was too much. The tears came slow. I didn't wipe them away. They just fell right into the bowl, and he didn't say a word. He didn't need to. I didn't plan it. Wasn't some dramatic moment of clarity. No script, no lighting, just me. My phone propped against a coffee mug, front camera on, hands shaking. I stared into the lens for a long time, then hit record. My name's Jake. I'm 21, and for the last few months, I've been scamming people. I said it, out loud, for the world to hear. I told the truth about the fake fundraisers, the stolen photos, the messages I ignored, the people I hurt, the money I didn't earn. The moment it all broke me, I didn't ask for forgiveness. I didn't offer excuses. I just told the story. Raw, ugly, honest. I'm not proud. I deserve whatever comes next. But I'm done hiding. If this helps even one person not do what I did, then maybe it wasn't all for nothing. I uploaded the video, closed the app, put my phone on silent. Next morning, it had over 300,000 views. The comments were a war zone. Some people called me scum. Others thanked me. You owned it. I needed to hear this. I did something similar once. I've been too ashamed to talk about it. And for the first time in forever, I didn't feel invisible. I felt seen. Not as a villain, not as a victim, but as a human being. A few weeks after the video went viral, I got an email from a small nonprofit. They ran a real children's charity. Legit, transparent, underfunded. The subject line read, "If you're serious about change, we could use some help." At first, I thought it was bait, some kind of trap, but I clicked. The message was short. No judgment, no flattery, just, "We've all messed up. Come mop floors. If you stick around, we'll find other things for you to do." I went the next day. They gave me gloves, a bucket, and a hallway. I didn't talk, just cleaned. Week after week, I showed up. No cameras, no posts, no praise, just work. They paid me nothing. Didn't need to. I was earning something bigger, a version of myself I didn't hate. After a while, they let me help with outreach, filling out forms, answering emails. Then came classes, volunteer training, basic medical aid. Eventually, I was the one calling donors, setting up real fundraisers, meeting real kids, telling their real stories. Every time I wrote a new post, I triple-checked every word, made sure I wasn't bending truth into drama, made sure I wasn't taking more than I was giving. I still hated who I'd been, but I started liking who I was becoming. 1 year later, I stood in front of a small room filled with volunteers, nervous as hell, hands sweating, heart pounding. There were maybe 20 people, some young, some old, all watching me like I had something important to say. And maybe for the first time in my life, I did. I told them the truth, the same story I'm telling you, about the scams, the comments, the hospital, the soup, how I went from lying for likes to learning how to clean up blood without flinching. How some days I still feel like a fraud, but I keep showing up anyway. When I finished, nobody clapped. They just sat there, quiet, taking it in. And then from the back of the room, I saw him, Dad, sitting alone, arms crossed, face unreadable. After everyone left, he walked up to me, stood there for a second, then said, "You used to be empty. Now you're a man." I didn't cry. Not then. I just nodded, felt his hand on my shoulder, and for once I didn't look away. We walked home in silence. Not awkward, just full of things we didn't need to say anymore.